Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, Amber.
Happy Friday to you too. I miss you, girl.
I miss you too. We have taken a little bit of a break from doing our live streams together for a lot of reasons, but mainly because it's been so freaking crazy busy in Las Vegas real estate. How's it been going for you, Amber?
Yeah, I think spring buying season started in like January this year.
Dude, I didn't even know. I never realized we actually had a spring buying season in Las Vegas because it always seems busy in Vegas. But it's maybe it's neither here nor there. It's been freaking busy. But I'm super glad that we're back on today. I did a live stream the other day by myself, which, excuse me, was not fun. So I need to make sure
You
that
did great on it.
we need to be doing things together from now on because it's way more fun. But I definitely did a live stream talking about the National Association of Realtors, the new rules that are coming out and all the kind of the changes. It would have been nice to have you there, whatever. But no, I had a good time. Answered a lot of questions, got a lot of great feedback. For those of you who are watching and have not seen this, please go to my channel, click on live stream, and you can rewatch that to just learn about what changes are going to be coming or what we think is going to be coming in the market. But Amber, you've been busy, busy bee. The reason you couldn't join me on Wednesday was because you were out of town for something. Tell us what you were doing.
Oh, yes. It's beautiful to like help be the decision maker at a company, right? Like,
Yeah.
so not that I'm the decision maker, but to just give my opinion on things that programs and,
Mm-hmm.
different ways of doing things, what's coming next and stuff like that. So I can have a voice in what we need out there, what I see we
Yeah.
need in the market and stuff. So it's pretty fun. In
Were you
Texas.
in Texas? So what were you guys
Yeah.
talking about? Like new loan programs that they're going to be creating? Can you give me a little sneaky peek on any of the stuff that you think is going to be coming down the pipe?
Yeah, I mean, definitely new loan programs that are going to be like, and what's needed, like how to tweak this, how to tweak that. What,
Mm-hmm.
some of it was like processes, procedures, like programs that you already use. But my interest is always in what programs can we put out there? What more grants can we do? What more this, what more that, more these kind of things. So then everybody puts in there's a representative from every state basically. And then
Mm-hmm.
everybody kind of puts in their 2 cents of what, and it was kind of, like we were all kind of in the same place. It's funny how in the US, like different markets will bring different things, but it's almost like we're all dealing with kind of the same thing and need kind of the
Right.
same, processes or different programs and stuff like that. So lots of
Absolutely.
fun, lots of fun.
Super,
My
super
first time to
stoked.
Austin, Texas too.
What'd you think? Did you enjoy some of the music and the food?
The food was good. I mean, honestly, I spent most of the time in the hotel because that's where the meetings were and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool there. I'll have to go back and visit. It had a cool vibe in
Nice.
Austin. Yeah.
I'm always proud when I can say that I work next to you and work alongside you for all of the stuff that we do for our clients. But it does elevate a little when you're like, oh, by the way, the lender that we work with is the lender who gets to go and be a part of the bigger conversations of what new programs are coming, what grant programs are coming, like all the stuff. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Amber, there's a new ranking that you've hit for lenders in the nation. And this might be why you get to be invited to these conversations. We were within the top 200, but Amber, what's the number now? What number are we ranked at?
So Scotsman Guide had me at number 166.
Oh, okay. First of all, congratulations for
Oh,
being
thank
being amazing at what you do and for doing it with such heart. I just want to say that out loud. For those of you who
you.
have not had the opportunity, the pleasure of working with Amber and her team, you're missing out. And I hope that you'll decide to work with us. As you can see, there's a number at the bottom there if you'd like to text us, or there's a link in the description of every video that we do and the pinned comment. We would love to help you. I personally don't care if you're ready to buy a house now or you don't buy one ever. I just want to be able to talk to you. And I know Amber feels the same. We're really focused on helping people who just don't know where to even to begin, or those who might need a little bit of a game plan. So thank you, Amber, for being ranked number 166. I would say get it tattooed, but we're going to be lowering that number more and more and more. So we'll wait till we get to number one. But congratulations, seriously. And you do it
Thank
on a
you.
very small
Appreciate
team. So I'm very proud of you.
it.
Okay, Amber, listen, they're chomping at the bit. There's people genuinely tuning in right now only to find out how the hell they can get $35,000 for free. Can you talk to me about how you found out about this program and kind of how you see it playing out for our clients?
Well, so last year we did a live one time where we talked about $25,000
Yes,
coming
ma'am.
out. So that obviously went fast, right? Because that's
Yep.
a lot of money to get for a grant. And then this week I was completely taken back when I was like, what's going on? We're doing $35,000 right now. It's the same grant program, but I mean, I started getting calls on it. Honestly, that were sent to me by the program, like by the
Yeah.
by the
Yep.
people that run the program. And I talked to one client yesterday that's buying a house in, one of the towns that's more outskirt. They already have the house in there. And it didn't even matter like the price range of the house. You can get $35,000, like as far as like low, like you can't go
Wow.
above a certain amount, but you can't go, like it could be a $250,000 house and you still get $35,000. So
That's
like,
amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to talk about like what this means and how to get it, because honestly, if you're thinking about it, I would move quickly on
Mhm.
this, you know, just
Cool.
just by what we saw, how fast we saw that 25,000 move last year.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that briefly, and then I'm going to put some of the stuff that people need to know about this program on the screen in just a second. But let's talk about what that means, because I don't know that a lot of people realize when a grant program comes out, it has a limited amount of money set aside for it. So
Yeah.
can you talk to me about how that typically works, and what do you do to reserve that part of that money for your buyer? How that goes?
Yeah, of course. So when a grant money comes out, it's government money that's basically put into a pool, right?
Okay.
And so then the administrator will decide how much they're giving out per loan. So this
Mm.
is the biggest one I've seen, where they're giving out 35,000 per loan that's put
Yep.
out. And so with that money, as soon as it's gone, it's gone. So a lot of times as they get close, they'll be like, okay, we have 5 loans left, we have 4 loans left, we have 2 loans
Right.
left. You know, they'll give us kind of a forewarning on what's happening there. But this is anybody that's doing this, could be anybody originating in Nevada on this
Okay.
program or purchasing in Nevada. And when we get, so like when you decide you want to buy the house, we get your offer accepted. Once we get the accepted offer and disclosures out, then that's when we can push the button to reserve the funds on the program. But we have to have all of that in place first on
So
it.
I wanted you to thank you. I wanted you to touch on that for a reason. A lot of people don't believe me when I say, please call, please call, please call. Sooner rather than later is what we care about. We want to get you in our system and ready to go, because moments like this come up all the time. And what
Mhm.
happens is people, oh, well, I guess I better start looking for a house. The issue is when we can make it work, but the issue
Yeah.
is that if you're not already set up in our system and we're not already kind of acquainted and we aren't already kind of earmarking time and space in our world for you and to think about you and your journey, it's going to be a much harder uphill battle, and you will likely miss out on some of these monies because you're just not fast enough or you're not ready to go. So
Yeah.
please, 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 for the love of God, we say it all the time. I mean it. And when people do call, they're like, well, you always say it in your videos, but I never really know if you're like just saying it. And we don't really know. We're saying it because we mean it. Please reach out to us and set up a call now. Don't wait, because if you're in our system, when stuff like this pops, guess who's getting the phone call first? People who we are aware of that might be able to take advantage of it. So we just found out about this yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday, day before, yesterday. Doesn't matter. Soon,
These are all
recently.
rolling together. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are. I'm actually not even in town. Amber's not even in town, but it was important enough to stop what we were doing in order for us to be able to tell you guys about this. And we're doing the same for some of our clients. So, okay, I'm having some technical difficulties, but let me see if I can share my screen real quick, because I want to just put on the screen what we're talking about here. So,
Okay.
all righty, let's see. Can you see that? Oh, it's a
I
little
can
bit hard.
see it. You got it.
Okay, so it's a little bit hard to read, but we'll give it a shot. So let's run through some of just how this works, Amber, and see if I can make it a little bit bigger. No, I'll put us back to the side. So when it comes to this program, first time buyer requirement has to be the borrower and the spouse, including NPS, no home ownership in the last 3 years. Will you walk us through that?
So if you've had a house in the past and you sold the house like more than 3 years ago, then you're considered a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
Sometimes when we say this rule, I'll get calls from clients that say, I haven't bought a house in the last 3 years, but they still currently own a house.
Right.
So sold the house. The day you sold the house starts that countdown of 3 years. So if you haven't owned anything in 3 years, or you've just never bought a house before, you're considering a first-time home buyer.
Awesome. Okay. That's awesome. See, a lot of people think, oh, I've already bought a house 12 years ago or whatever, and then they think they're automatically not included. So this is really great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for the verbiage being so small. It won't let me share it properly. So we're going to read it out loud to you guys. Thanks for hanging in here. It says at least one occupying borrower must be a 6-month resident of Nevada at the time of reservation. So we do 99% relocation with clients who work with us, Amber. So what does this mean for those clients? And is this something that they're going to be able to take part of?
So, well, for relocation, there's a lot of other grants. We're just talking about one grant right now. So
Right.
don't let it like discourage you or anything like that. If you're relocating to Vegas and you haven't been a resident for 6 months, don't let this discourage you. There's many other grants. We're only talking about one right now.
Yeah. This one specifically, though, you have to be here 6 months, right?
You have to be here 6
Okay.
months. You have to be able to show proof of residency here
Okay.
6 months.
I love it. Okay. Must be principal residence. That's obviously a no-brainer. Has to be your house. Can't be something you're buying to rent out. Has to be your house. Am I right?
And they're going to make sure that you as the borrower are going to be living in that house.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
so we're clear.
Good to know. All righty. The other thing it says is, let's see if we can do this. The other thing it says is maximum income limits. Now I know this is a thing that comes up for all of these grants, right? And there's a specific calculation that we're always trying to figure out. That's on you, not me. I don't do math. You do the math. Thank you for being the math girl. Math girls unite. So talk to me about how that works. I know that each of them has its own calculation. How do you feel about the calculation that they're using for this one?
So the income limits on this particular program has to do with household size.
Okay.
So and we have to look at specific debt to income ratios too, because one thing that it doesn't show on these guidelines is the minimum FICO score is a 640 FICO score. And you can go to specific debt ratios depending on what your FICO score is. Most of the time it's not over 50. And a lot of times they like to try to keep it at 45% debt ratio. So we're going to figure out we'll figure out the debt ratio, but as far as income limits, it's going to depend on household size. So if your household is bigger, then you can go to a higher income to qualify this program. If you only have 1 or 2 people, then the limit is very low. And I should have pulled up the income limit so that I can go over those so that you can see it, but I don't have it up on the screen, but I'm happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah. And I think honestly, we were looking at it before we got on, or maybe yesterday. I don't even know what day it is, but we were looking at it. And I think you were saying it's really a one-to-one conversation. So the income limit isn't just, you can't make more than this much money. It's based on, like you said, household, and it's all these other things combined. So luckily Amber is number 166 in the nation for a reason, because she knows how to do all these fun things that I would die on a lonely hill trying to do myself. So the other thing I was going to say is the next thing I should say down is purchase price limit is $647,200. So a lot of people think that these grant programs are only eligible for like the lower end purchase prices, like 300,000, 400,000, whatever. But actually you can go all the way up to almost 650.
Yeah, you can go up to 647,200 if your debt ratio works. So remember, they're going to look at your income, and on your income too. One thing I wanted to make sure that we added too is that if you have anybody in the household that's making income that's not on the loan, then we have to count their income towards your income limits too. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then on the 647, we're going to make sure of what you can debt ratio depending on what you make. But like if you have like 7 people in your household and you can go up to one of their high limits, then yeah, we can definitely go up to the 647. So it is really cool how this one works.
Awesome. This next one is, I think, the most exciting part, or one of the most exciting parts about this. Assistance offered is 0% interest. So it's a no interest loan or grant, and it's after 3 years, it's forgivable, correct?
Yeah. So this is the cool thing about this program. Not only does it give 35,000, that's the coolest part, but most of the grants right now, or I shouldn't say most, but a lot of the popular grants right now are non-forgivable. So if you take their grant up front and then you sell or refinance your house, you have to pay it back. This one is forgivable after you've had it for 3 years.
Oh my God.
So
that's
like you just
amazing.
keep it for 3 years and then you've just gotten $35,000 literally for free.
Oh
just
my God.
by keeping it for 3 years and obviously qualifying for the program.
Now, the other thing I wanted to just remind everybody is we're talking about all these great things about this grant. Amber and I try to bring 1 or 2 grants to you because there's so many. At least every month, we try to bring up some sort of free money. So stay tuned. We will be going back to our regularly scheduled programming. There you go. Look at me. I sound like an old TV person from back in the day. Our regularly scheduled programming to Wednesdays and Fridays at noon. So as we start to go live more, if this one doesn't fit you, don't stress. I promise you there's likely a grant out there that does. And if not, we'll run through the gamut anyway and make sure. We want to make sure that, Amber's team is really good about not leaving any stone unturned. Okay, Amber, the assistance will be forgiven at the end of 3 years. As of just at the end of 3 years of December. As of the end of this year, starting December. Help me understand that. The assistance will be forgiven at the end of 3 years, or I think I typed that wrong. December 31st, 2024, whichever comes first.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're going to buy and you're going to close, Like,
Oh,
let's say you close in June, then
yeah.
the assistance will be forgiven. You're in 24, so in 27, June of 27, it'll be
Okay.
forgiven.
That was just written a little funky. I was a little confused. So I got it. So it's 3 years, essentially 3 years
Yeah,
or whatever that time
yeah,
frame goes. Awesome.
yeah.
Obviously, we've already talked about the fact that it's $35,000. Let's just say that loud, loud, loud and proud again.
$35,000.
$35,000. Amazing. And that this is available until the end of this year or until funding is fully reserved, meaning it's gone, gone, baby, gone, gone. What I'm really excited about next is to walk you through the map areas of some spaces, the areas that are actually going to be able to utilize this program. So a lot of people assume this is going to be the horrible areas of town. You're never going to be able to get anything nice. It doesn't matter. Like there's so much negativity out there. It makes me so sad, Amber. But this program, I actually said out loud, holy shit, if I can just be very real. I said, holy shit, on the area, some of the areas that are included. So one of the areas is 89109, 89121, and 89169, which is lovingly referred to in Las Vegas locals speak as Winchester, which is a great area. I actually grew up over there. Did you grow up over there too, a little bit on the east side?
Oh, definitely on the east side. Not in these particular zip codes, but I was definitely
Nice.
born and raised on the east side of town. Yep.
Look at this one, Amber. I'm sorry,
That's an
Summerlin
exciting one right
South.
there. Yes.
Summerlin South. Let's just say that loud as we can. You guys, if you're looking to move to Las Vegas, the number one and number two place that everyone asks me about is Summerlin and Henderson. Why? Because they're the most marketed, because they're, the most popular online, whatever. Summerlin itself is very difficult to get into. The minimum purchase price in Summerlin right now is probably high fours, and that's for a very much older home that's not really updated. You're probably looking at mid fives. If you can get $35,000 free to go, because it works out for you to go and buy a house in South Summerlin, not only is this going to be the most sound investment you make, and all of them are, but this area specifically is blowing up. This will be the new heart of Las Vegas in the next 5 years. Mark my words, that exact zip code right there.
You
Oh
think
my
it's
God.
the heart of Las
Yep.
Vegas?
100%.
Oh.
100%. Okay, next one we're going to go through, and then guys, drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. If you want to chat with us, we'd love to answer your questions. We're going to jump to that next. And then the next area is a really beautiful area called Whitney, which I know you kind of grew up over on that side of town. I know I did too. I've lived everywhere though. I always tell people like, oh, I live there. They're like, where have you not lived? I'm like, oh, I guess I've lived everywhere. But Whitney is really beautiful. It's out back by Clark County Wetlands Park. What's cool about that area is it's right next to Cadence, that brand new community over in kind of Old Henderson area on the way to Lake Las Vegas. So it's such a cool area. They've got all kinds of new homes over there, some really cute little resale opportunities. And it's really an up and coming area that's really kind of starting to look up versus the past couple of years. What are your thoughts, Amber?
So here's the thing I would say about the areas. When they have an asterisk behind the zip code, when you find a house in that area, we have to put the address into their website to make sure that it's on this program. So it's not every single house in this program, but it's a good portion of it in those zip codes. We have to put in the house to make sure that it's in there.
Right. So for those of you who have done phone calls with me, and if you haven't, shame on you, the phone number's right down below, please do. For those of you who've done phone calls with me, many of you will on the phone call will receive a couple of things that I like to share just to help you with your research process. Number one is a zip code map that I've created that's kind of color coded to different areas of town. So if you have that from me, you'll be able to kind of correlate that to what you're looking at online to decide if that's an area you want to be in. But on top of that, for this kind of a program, it's like, oh, well, Lacey said 89122. There's that website that Amber just mentioned, which I'm going to pull up and just show you kind of what we get to look at. You guys are welcome to take a look at this as well. Let me see if I can do it. Oop, there it is. So this is what the website looks like. And it literally says getting you homes, what is this one called?
The Nevada Rural Housing.
Yeah, sorry, my computer's acting up. Nevada Rural Housing. So this is the website we actually go to type in the actual address. So it's not going to be a blanket tool that we use. Oh yeah, 89122, you should be eligible. We're going to do the due diligence before we actually start, concerning ourselves with writing offers. We want to make sure you guys are covered.
Yes. Aren't you excited though? $35,000.
$35,000. I was like, Amber, can I take advantage of this? What am I doing? I gotta get back in town. Got to get back in town so we can figure things out.
So you can hurry up and go find a house.
I know, right? Okay, so anyway, let me jump over here to the questions. Thank you all for saying hi to us. Let's see here. We're going to jump into the questions. So good to see you back online, everybody. This is so nice. Matt Smith says, I love free money, 35K.
Yeah.
Oscar Love says he's hiding at his desk trying to watch us. Hi, Oscar. We love you.
Don't get in trouble, Oscar.
John Harris says, let's get this party started. Welcome back, ladies. Oh, free money. Sounds good to me. Sounds damn good to me, too. William. Oh, well, William. Hello. Shout out to the Vegas goddesses, Lacey and Amber.
Thanks.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's talk about this one. This is a great question. The Hunty Badger said, how about work history? I worked at a job for 3 years, got laid off in January, started a new job at the end of the month. My spouse has been at the same job for 7 years. Will that hurt us? Good question.
That's a great question. So, okay, so you worked at the same job for 3 years, got laid off in January, and then started a new job. So most of the time what they're looking for when you're looking to make sure that you're in the same line of work. And when something happens with your job, like in your case, you got laid off, FHA just wants to make sure that you haven't had a 6-month job gap. This one's conventional, so we don't have to worry about the 6-month job gap. But as long as your pay is straight, like you're full-time, same amount of hours every paycheck, then you should be good. And then you're in the same line of work. So, sometimes life happens and there's always, things that, guidelines that are always there to protect that from happening. But yeah, if you got laid off in January and you're already back to work, you haven't had, you didn't miss much this year. And then your wife's been working for 7 years. Let's talk. Let's try to get you the $35,000 grant.
Yeah, let's get this money for you. Get the money, honey. Jump, jump, jump. Click the link description. Text that number today. We'll try to get on the phone with you as quickly as you can. The answer is as long as it's in the same industry, right? Same type of work-ish, right? Like admin work to admin work, nursing work to nursing work, sort of. But Amber's really good about kind of thinking through that. So don't make the decision on what you think is going to work for yourself. No, please speak to us today. So good question. Thank you so much. Matt Smith says, also plus Hollywood 2.0 is going in Summerlin. So anybody who's wanting to take advantage of this program, they're going to see what I'm talking about. South Summerlin.
I have a feeling those prices in Vegas are going to be California some future years in the
new heart of Las Vegas. I'm telling you. John Harris says, how many U.S. cities and states offer programs that pay people to move there, including incentives for remote workers, cash bonuses, and tax credits? This is grant money. This grant money is paying for this, right? In Vegas? I don't think
this particular one's not paying for people to move to Vegas because you have to be a Vegas resident for 6 months in order to do this. I've heard of other states that are paying people to work from home there, but I can't talk as an expert on that because I don't know all the states. Do you know something about the states that are offering that?
I do. I've seen a lot of news reports on it. And I've definitely, with Las Vegas, I know that we're making it very enticing for small businesses to move here. I have not heard of Las Vegas offering money for people to move here yet. I don't think we need the help, to be honest with you. The city is growing rapidly and at a pace that I don't even know how to keep up with. So, but good question. I don't know much about that either, John, but we'll definitely do some research. Good question. Matt Smith says, does this work for condos and or new builds?
It does work. It does. Okay. So I'm going to put something else on condos. It does work for condos. It does work for new builds. The condos, remember on the condos, you own what's inside the walls, not the land or the roof. So the HOA comes into play. So sometimes the HOAs work with grants and sometimes they don't. Right. So the condo, we have to do some extra research into the individual condo, but new build, absolutely.
Yeah. Listen, a house is a house is a house, right? They don't care. And new builders are just like us. We definitely just all want to do, what we're supposed to be doing. So it's going to work as long as we can figure it out in terms of the condo stuff if you end up buying a condo, but just keeping that in mind. Great question. Let's see. Ooh, Hunty Badger just confirmed. Same job, just increased my salary by 10K. Thanks for the layoff, guys. Appreciate you stepping up my income. Hunty Badger, I hope to hear from you. Let's call. Let's talk. Let's do this. Beach All Day Guy says, tell me more of what you know about the Arts District Midtown project. Exciting times for the Arts District in downtown. I could not agree with you more. The Arts District in Las Vegas is by far one of my favorite areas of town. And I say this a lot because basically every part of town is my favorite. But I lived in the Arts District up until recently, and I'm probably going to move back. I miss it. The Arts District is this beautiful, awesome, very urban living kind of area downtown. We've got Main Street that has all the old vintage shops and all the cool little small businesses and restaurants. You've got Fremont Street. You got Fremont Street East. You've got the Art Arts District to Arts Factory. It's First Friday. It's constantly moving. It's going to be great. It's going to be good to be a small business owner down there. All I know about the Midtown project is that it's the same developer who built the English Hotel, which I find myself hanging out at more often than I should admit. The Pepper Club.
That's a good one, huh?
Listen, a brunch is a brunch, a cocktail is a cocktail. It's eventually going to have 3,000 residential units and 100,000 square feet or so of commercial space, which is really awesome. So it's going to be it's very walkable lifestyle area near the Arts District, which is amazing. It's going to be easy to find. It's already kind of the heart of Las Vegas, but it's going to really expand from there. So I'm super, super excited. I think they're going to be also looking at adding some middle class sort of pricing on condos at like 360. So that's really cool from a reasonable pricing perspective to get in on owning something in the city. And I do know that they're looking at trying to keep rental prices in the retail space really low as well. So more to come on that. I'm just super stoked. Thank you so much for asking about that. It's always fun to see new development happening all over town, especially in an area that I believe in so wholeheartedly. So I hope to see you down there, beach all day, guys. Oh, and he says, or she, I think it's a guy. He says, love you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So really the bottom line is, guys, we're not going to stay on too long today. Just really, really excited about the fact that $35,000 free is possible, and it's possible for you. We're going to continue to be bringing you guys a couple of grants a month as often as we can. Our regularly scheduled programming kicks back off next Wednesday. We're going to be bringing in some guests and some things like that to be on and just to chat more about it. We're trying to educate you guys about not only real estate, but just educate you on what the hell's going on in Vegas and how you can take part in it, whether it be from an investment perspective or being a new resident. So this one is for people who live here already or who have made the move already. For 6 months, you have to be a resident. But guys, there's so many others that don't have that residency requirement, and it's just as juicy. So yeah, so that's all I've got. We got one last question here. Matt Smith says, how fast does that money run out? What's your typical experience with that, Amber?
Well, when we talked about the $25,000 last year, it ran out, I think, in a couple of weeks. Yeah. Like it ran out. So
it's because we talked about it, damn it.
Yeah. Like once we put something out like that, then people start running for it. And I don't know how many other people are talking about. I haven't heard too much on the wire about people talking about it, but we're always the first out there.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, here's the deal is it really depends on the market, depends on who, how much news coverage it's getting, all of that. I think we're the only ones who have brought this one up, at least that I've seen. I don't scrape and scrounge through that too much, but definitely if you guys are even intrigued by this, sooner rather than later, we need to hear from you. So for whatever reason, if you can't find that link in the description or whatever, there is a number scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Please text that number. Text is better. Text that phone number. We will get you set up with a phone call as soon as possible, and we'll go from there. So Amber, this was super fun being back online.
I know. I'm so excited. I've missed you. I've missed everybody. It's fun to talk.
Missed you too. Yeah, listen, we don't like to get off of our schedule because we know that you guys, are definitely wanting us to be around. And we know that you get a lot out of these things. And we really appreciate that you guys tune in. We're back on it next Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time. I'm not going to tease what we're talking about because we haven't decided yet. I'll be very honest. But super grateful. I am in Denver this weekend. So if anybody watching is in Denver as well, feel free to text that number at the bottom. I'd love to say hi in person. I'm out here for a concert from one of my favorite DJs. Going to go to Red Rocks tonight. Don't know about you, Amber, but it's a beautiful venue. You should go if you like concerts. Anyway,
nice.
Yes, believe it or not, as much as I love Las Vegas, I still get away for entertainment from time to time. Just, smelling new air and all the things. So anyway, no more travel after this, though. We're just going to be staying straight and steady, trying to keep giving you guys all the good info. Amber, anything else? What can you think of that we need to say?
About the grant? I just
anything.
Anything? Home ownership is still possible. You guys, we got this. Okay. We got this. And honestly, I'm looking at the rates on this program. Not bad for giving away money like that. Not bad.
All right.
So
let's leave it on that note. Not bad. Not bad. So I think it's more than not bad, guys. It's $35,000. So, guess what? Next week, we'll probably talk about another one. So stay tuned. If you are not already subscribe, click the bell, please. Let us know, that you're watching. We love to see comments come through. If you're not following me or Amber on Instagram, you need to make that happen also, like immediately at Las Vegas Scout at Amber Coleman Loans, if I'm not mistaken.
Loans, yeah.
And also Amber's over on TikTok. I am too, but I'm not really doing much. But either way, we really just want to be entrenched with you guys. Reach out. Let's talk. Let's get you dialed in. Amber, thank you so much for calling me, even though you knew I was out of town. Thank you for calling me. I think it's better that we do. That's how much we care, you guys. We stopped what we were doing and we jumped right in. So Amber's not even in Las Vegas either. We're genuinely bringing Las Vegas information
We're like,
to you.
come on, let's give away
From far,
$35,000. It's crazy.
I'm not waiting. No waiting. Thank you again, Amber. Number 166 in the entire nation. I'm so proud of you. That my best friend. She a real bad bitch.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Love you so much. Thank you to everybody for
Me
watching,
too.
and we'll talk to you guys.